this video, action plan for existence. Food forests or agroforests play a central role in the above action plan for existence and are characterized by carbon and biodiversity enriched deep soils. This is one of the diagrams where you can detect dips. This is a dip, and this is a dip. I'm not sure what the red is black US population, and blue is white US population. And the white dots is Europe, England, France, Germany, Netherlands, etc. Spain, I suppose. So this is a dip. It's not clear here. Anyhow, there is a dip here. It's a dip with a little up. This is a clear dip. That is more or less 94. Then there is a second dip around 2002, 2003. It's not so clear as the first one, but it is one. You can see it here in white dots as well. Then there is a third dip. I suppose this looks like a dip, but it's not so clear, so I won't mention. This is a clear dip, this is a clear dip, and here is a clear dip. It's a little bit early. So this is roughly 2015. The mess starts in 2012. It has a great peak in 2013 and another one in 2014. So it can be one of the causes because this is global scale, and MERS was not in all of these countries, I suppose. US, Europe, probably dominantly present. MERS. It was present in the US and in Western Europe, so it fits quite well. Okay, so these are the three dips. All these three dips are anticipated by plague cases, but plague cases go out of the radar. Nobody's really paying attention. It's not in Europe, and it's also not that much in the US, of course, because of superior surveillance and control. Then the dip around 2017 is this one, has to do with or makes a temporal association with the bubonic plague, in fact, pneumonic plague in Madagascar, the urban epidemic. But there were plague cases in all of these cases before the dip and before the virus appearing. So these dips correspond, are associated with plague cases and epidemics. 2017 was an epidemic, and 2019, which is I'm not sure if it's in this map already, the same epidemic that happened in Madagascar happened in Central African Republic. So going to reinforce what Madagascar already caused. But for now, we focus on the Madagascar urban epidemic of 2017 because it's so clear. We have so much information about much more than of the Central African Republic. So I will take advantage and show some other graphs. This is pneumonic plague in Madagascar. More in detail. This is pneumonic and this is bubonic, and you can see it was much more pneumonic than bubonic. And pneumonic doesn't need a vector, doesn't need rats, doesn't need fleas. It's human to human. It's very quick. That's why there was this epidemic in the first place. Just to make sure, the dip in 1994 was when the World Health Organization declared that plague was re-emerging. But they did this in retrospect. Because you simply cannot say it in the first year that there's an emerging plague. So anyhow, this is important. The next step is related to SARS, and the next step is related to MERS, and then there is this, of course, that is also related to COVID that is near, and related to epidemic of plague, pneumonic plague in Madagascar 2017, and similar epidemic in 2019 in Central African Republic. This is the link of the article. This is the link in written form for those who want to verify or read on their own. So here it's spread out, but I said it more or less. I explained it a little bit better. SARS appears because the plague makes the herd calling for a primer, and SARS is a primer. That's the hypothesis. Same for MERS. Because of plague cases, the herd is calling for a primer, and this time the primer is MERS 2012. And it led to a dip. The form also led to a dip. Then this is this 2017 epidemic of PB, pneumonic plague in Madagascar, urban, so great impact on the country. Then 2019, because you had, amongst other events that were calling too, you had, on top of Madagascar, you had Central African Republic calling. So this is pretty much the same. It spreads a little bit wider. It starts with 1980. This time it must be United States because I don't see something in Europe here. This seems quite characteristic for the United States. Anyhow, the article is here. It's from CEC, so that more or less confirms what I said. It's the United States. And this is the link in written form. It will appear in your legend. When it's written, normally it will appear in the legend of your video. So I will stop this video here. Thanks a lot for watching. We go further in the next video. These three videos are more technical than the other ones. It has to do with the model for prediction. But we are first studying the associations. So thanks a lot for watching. Bye.